Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahushua brought a thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shema a thumb by Shem Yahushua to the sisters. Preaching over self 500 Bakar Shema. Holding down the I.S.U.P.K history class. Give the Lord a hand. And one of these toxic traits, these toxic emotions that we deal with, right, called jealousy. It is borderline murderous. It's of a murderous spirit to be jealous of your brother. Jealousy breeds nothing but disgusting, evil thoughts, which leads to terrible deeds, man. You understand? Acts against the Lord. The Lord is against jealousy, man. You understand? And wanting something that somebody else has is wrong in the first place, man. These things go against the scriptures of the Most High God. But when you are jealous of someone, you got to understand how petty that is, man. To sit there and watch another human being have something and you want it so bad that it makes you jealous of them. Instead of you get up and go work and put in the pain and gird up your boots and go do the work to get the things that they have, or just get the things that's made for you. You understand? Some things you shouldn't have. Some things ain't made for you. But the fact of being jealous, you understand? The spirit of being jealous is an evil, dark place, man. It's an evil, dark, lonely, and untrusting place, man. You can't trust a jealous person, man. You can't trust a jealous person to tell the truth. You can't trust a jealous person to not cause you harm and put you in bad situations, man. It is destructive and divisive to brotherhood. It is destructive and divisive to the Lord's doings. You understand? We're going to pull a scripture and we're going to read this story in 1 Samuel about this man, right? And this man had a lot of power. This man had a lot of power and was jealous of somebody that was in power-wise underneath him, which shows that it ain't got nothing to do with where you at, how much money you got, what you wear, where you live, none of that things. You understand? Jealousy is an evil spirit that can take over anyone. And the thing that you want to do is you want to be strong enough and in the right space, in the right spirit to fight these things, man, to fight against this flesh, to fight against these emotions, to not let these things drive you to do evil, man. You understand? And we're going to read in the book of 1 Samuel, and we're going to read about this powerful man who is jealous of a younger man. You understand? Whenever you got it, you can read it. We're going to start from verse 1. Baba Kushab.
God. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 1. Samuel also said unto Saul, the Most High sent me to anoint thee to be a king over his people, over Israel.
And this is about Saul, right? Saul was the king of Israel for a span of time. You understand? And Samuel, being a man of God, came and told Saul that the Most High God told me to anoint you to be the king over Israel, man, to rule over all the people, to be in control over all the nations, man. That's how much power this man has. You understand? That's how much power he was given and bestowed upon him from the Lord. Let's keep reading, Baba Kushab.
God. Now therefore hearken unto the voice of the words of the Most High.
Advice. He said, listen, if you're going to be the king of Israel, if you're going to be over the Lord's people, Shalom, you got to hearken to the voice of the Most High God. You have to listen to the words of the Lord. You have to obey the voice of the Most High God, man. Follow his laws, follow his statutes, follow his commandments, man. That's part of the job, you understand? That came with the contract. You want to be the king, you got to be a good leader. You got to follow what the Lord says and show the people that we follow what the Lord says. Right. Let's keep reading.
God, verse 2. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel.
It says, thus saith the Most High of hosts. You understand? The Most High God is a man of war. You understand? Hosts is about armies.
Right.
And the Most High God said that I remember what Amalek did to Israel, man. Amalek is a people. You understand? It's a nation of people. It's really the so-called Jewish man out there in our land right now claiming our identity, claiming to be the chosen people of the Most High God, man. You understand? That's who Amalek is. And the Most High God told him, he said, listen, I ain't forget what those heathens did to my people. I remember what they did. You understand? I'm not going to forget what these heathens have done to my people. This is what the Lord told Saul. You understand? He said, listen, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel. I'm not going to forget what happened to my people because the Lord cares about his children, man. You understand? And like any good parent, if you care about your children, you ain't going to let those things slide. You're going to remember when your children was hurt. You're going to remember who caused harm to your children, man. Right. And the Most High God is no different. He told us, I remember what the Amalekites did to my people. Let's keep reading.
God, how he lay wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy that.
And the Lord commanded Saul to go and kill these people, man. He said, go kill them for the things that they have done to my people, man. Go kill them for the things that they have done to your brothers and your sisters, man. You understand? Destroy everything they have. Utterly destroy them. Let's keep reading.
God. And spare them not, but slay both men and women, infants and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass.
Man, you understand? Slay all of them. Slay the woman, slay the babies, right. You understand? The little toddlers breastfeeding, you understand? Kill the animals, kill the ox, the sheep, the camel, and the ass. Kill everything they own and wipe them off the face of the earth. Let's come on with it.
Show this to a Christian who say God is all love.
Right. You know, the Christians think God is all love. When they don't even understand what Lord of hosts means. You understand? Right. If they knew that, they would humble themselves. Well, let's keep reading.
God, verse 4. And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in Shalaim, 200,000 footmen and 10,000 men of Judah.
And so all the truth, because again, this is a man with power. This is the king. This is the man that was ruling over Israel, man, ruling over the Lord's people, anointed that position by the Most High God. Let's keep reading.
Verse 5. And Saul came to a city of Amalek and said, wait, and laid wait in the valley.
Now he's going to do that the Lord gave him. He's like, we're going to go over here. We done found the city of the Amalekites. We're going to lay in the cut and wait to do this work because the Lord said to destroy them. Let's keep reading.
Verse 6. And Saul said unto the Kenites, go, depart among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you. For ye showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out from Egypt. So the Kenites departed from.
And Saul told this other nation of people, he said, listen, y'all can go ahead. Y'all showed love to the children of Israel. Y'all wasn't evil. Y'all didn't do wicked things to us like these Amalekites did. And we come in here to destroy them. So since you show kindness to us, we're going to show the favor back and let you know to get up out of here before we burn this place to the ground. Before we kill everything over here, you should get away from them or you're going to die with them.
Verse 7. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until that is over against Egypt.
And he killed them. He killed them. He was putting that word. He killed a lot of them. Let's keep reading.
God. Verse 8. And he took again the Amalekites alive.
And he took the king. You understand? The king of the Amalekites, Saul did not kill. He did not murder the king. He kept him alive.
Right.
You understand? Right here, this is the first mistake. You understand? Because this man is leaning into his own understanding. He's following his own lust and his own will. Because the Most High God clearly said to destroy everything.
Right.
He said, man, woman, child, baby, toddler, breastfeeding, the animals, everything, destroy everything. And he kept this king alive, making his own decisions. You understand? Making his own choices. Let's keep reading.
God. And utterly destroy all the people with the edge of the sword. Verse 9. For Saul and the people spared the best of the sheep.
And the what?
And the best of the
kept sheep. Keep reading.
And of the oxen.
And he kept some oxen.
And of the fatling.
And the fatling. He kept some animals for himself. He said, man, there's nothing wrong with these animals. These animals look good. We can eat these animals. We can make these animals breed. We can use these animals. Let's keep reading.
God. And the lambs. And all that was good.
And all that was what?
good.
And all that was good. He kept a whole bunch of things, man. You understand? When the order that the Most High God gave in verse 3 was to destroy everything there. You understand? Let's keep reading it.
And would not utterly destroy them, and refused that they destroyed. Verse 10. Then came the word of the Most High unto Samuel.
Then the Lord came and spoke to Samuel. You understand? Because the Most High God sent Samuel to go anoint Saul and put Saul as the king of Israel. So now he realizing that this guy's not listening. You understand? So you know he did. He went and spoke to his diligent servant. You understand? His diligent servant went and sought out this person to make king. He said, let me talk to him because this guy obviously can't hear what I'm saying to him. Let's keep reading.
Verse 11. And it repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king.
He said, what?
It repenteth me that I have set Saul up to be king.
And the Most High God told Samuel, he said, it is repenting me that I have made this man king. The Most High God was frustrated and angry that he made this man king.
Right.
Because the first order he gave him, he realized that this man can't carry out orders.
Right.
That this man is living for his own lust. This man is out here for his own personal gain. You understand? All red flags. All red flags.
Right.
Let's keep reading.
God. For he is turned back from following me.
And the Most High God said he turned back from following me. He gave his back to me. I gave him my word. He gave me his and said, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do what I see fit because I'm the king. You understand? He got this complex in his head. It's going to his head, man. His head is getting big, and he's feeling like he's so prideful. His nose is stuck up in the air that he feels like he don't have to listen to what the Most High God says. Let's keep reading.
And have not performed my commandments.
And he did not follow the commandments of the Lord.
And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto.
And it grieved Samuel, man. You understand? Samuel was angry. Sad that that brother didn't listen to what the Lord said, man. It bothered him. Let's drop down to verse 22. Baba Kushab.
Come on, verse 22. And Samuel said, have the Most High as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices.
And what happened is Saul went and he acted like he was so sorry. You understand? Saul was so sorry. He was acting like he was so sorry for disobeying the Lord because he realized he could lose his power now. You understand? So now he's so sorry. And he wants to be forgiven. And he's absolutely in debt to the Lord. And he wants to make it right and all these things that he's preaching and saying. You understand? And now, what Samuel asked him?
And Samuel said, SHALAM.
Concept, verse 22.
Have the Most High as great delight in burnt offerings as in obeying the voice of the Most High.
And he told Saul, he said, listen here, you think the Most High God is as happy with your burnt offerings for your mistakes? You understand? Because them burnt offerings come from sin.
Right.
Them burnt offerings is what you do when you sin. And you want forgiveness from the Most High God. You go, you make a burnt offering. He said, you think the Most High God has as much respect for your burnt offering as for you to obey him? As for you to just follow what he says? Right. You think he wants to hear, I'm sorry? He'd rather you just do it. The Most High God wants to hear Khan out of one Khan.
That's right.
He doesn't want to hear Salakia, sir. He doesn't want to hear Salakia for my failure. He wants to hear Khan out of one Khan. You understand? This is what Samuel had to break down to Saul and tell Saul, because Saul is living for himself. Saul is living off his own lust. He's living in his own head. He's living for the things that he wants, his own personal gain. Let's keep reading.
God, behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of ram.
And Samuel told him, he said, listen, it's better to obey than to sacrifice, man. It's better to hear what the Lord says than to give him fat from ram. You understand? The Lord doesn't want to eat your food. The Lord doesn't care about that. The Lord wants you to obey him, man. But like we said earlier, Saul was stuck in his head. He was very prideful. You understand? He was very prideful, very arrogant. He thought he knew everything. He thought he had it under control because he got the power of being a king. You understand? That's a very dangerous thing. It's a very, very dangerous thing. Let's keep going.
God. Verse 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft.
It says, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. And in Exodus, it says that I suffer a witch not to live.
Right.
You understand? The Most High God doesn't want witches living. You understand? All that witchcraft, you mixing stuff up, mixing potions and trying to heal and fix people. So that's what drug dealers do.
Right.
You understand? It says rebellion is as the sin of being a drug dealer, as the sin of witchcraft, which all equals to death, man. You understand? So Saul is teeter-tottering on the lines of death from all his emotions that he can't control, from all those feelings that he's feeling, from all those ways that he has that he can't walk away from.
Right.
And he's stuck in. Let's keep reading.
God. And stubbornness is as the iniquity and idolatry.
And stubbornness is as the sin of idolatry, man. Because how he was moving, Saul disobeyed the direct order from the Most High God because he feels like he's a God.
Right.
He feels like you don't have to do what the Lord says because he's king and everybody worships and praises him. You understand? It's the same as idolatry. You understand? I'm telling you, he's walking a thin line right here. But these are all red flags to what Saul is going to do later.
Right.
These are all red flags to the spirit that is in this brother that was going to come out regardless. Let's keep reading.
Come, because thou hast rejected the word of the Most High. He hath also rejected thee from.
He didn't want to follow what the Most High God says. The Most High God has been king. Now here's someone with all this power, all this might, all these men that he commands, and the Lord is taking it back from him. Because don't ever think you're too big for the Lord. You understand? All your little blessings, all your little power, all your little money and your clothes and your house and your vacations, all the things that you do that you think are good, it was given to you by the Most High God.
Right.
And he can take it back. And he can take it back whenever he wants. It's his. He gave it to you. Let's keep reading.
Verse 24. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned.
And now Saul says he sinned because he's nervous. He said, damn, I could not be the king.
Right.
I could lose all this power. I could lose all this respect. All these people I command. I can be a nobody. I could go back to sleeping in the train station. I could go back to being homeless. I could go back to being jobless. I could go back to being a regular schmo Joe. And he said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lord. I'm sorry. I sinned. Let's keep reading.
God.
For I have.
So now give what verse was that?
24.
Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have commandment of the Most High, and thy words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice.
He says, the first most important thing is that he was aware of what he did. That's the most important thing. He was aware of what he did. He says, I sinned and I did not listen to the commandments of the Most High God. You understand? Because he feared the people. Because he wanted people to like him. You understand? Because he was looking for likes. He was looking for attention. He was looking for comfort. He was looking for people. That's another dangerous thing. You understand? You shouldn't give a damn about what nobody else thinks. You should care about what the Lord thinks.
Right.
You should care about what the Lord requires. You trying to serve people will bring you into a dark, lonely pit. A dark, lonely place. Sometimes it's called jail. Sometimes it could be your life. You understand? But it'll bring you to a dark place that you don't want to be. Let's keep reading.
So, like, if I may,
come on with it.
This reminds me of the Christian church because the Most High taught us to teach our people their transgressions.
Damn right.
Christian church don't want to teach, our people their transgressions, that they're homosexuals, drug dealers, get abortions. They want them types.
Right.
In order to make them feel comfortable, they keep the congregation and they gather all the types.
Right.
They feel the people. They don't want to teach them the Lord's statute commandments of the Most High.
Right. As having you brought that out, that's just like the damn Christian church, man. Sitting there and allowing everything and anything because they want the people to come in there and fill up them churches and keep donating so they can get mega churches and big mansions and nice cars and all that garbage that they want. You understand?
Right.
What you was gonna say, sis?
What is the punishment of abortion?
The punishment of abortion is whatever the Lord sees fit for you.
Wow.
Some sisters never have babies again.
Right.
Some sisters sit there and hear crying babies.
Right.
It's whatever the Lord says.
You're right. You're most definitely right about that. And also, one of the punishments is cancer.
Right, damn right.
It's breast cancer. You understand? Because you understand that they develop the breast milk, but when I'm not a doctor.
I know what you mean.
But when they want the baby, where that breast milk is gonna go? So now like the body is confused and
Yeah.
Come on.
Damn right. Damn right. Got that old milk in the chest, man.
Right.
Get lumpy. You get lumpy after that.
Right.
Then you got breast cancer.
Right.
That's exactly what's going on. There's a lot of punishments from disobeying the law. You never know what it could be. But that's definitely one of them. That's very accurate. And that's why our sisters lead in breast cancer. Because we've been in that damn Christian church. And we've been living in that dark, lonely pit.
Right.
Let's get on verse 25. Baba Kushar.
It's like it also made.
Come on with it.
The Most High said, "Thou shalt not kill." You understand?
Right.
Killing is death. That's punishment of death.
Right.
That's like it. Verse 25. Now therefore I pray thee, pardon my sin, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Most High. Verse 26.
Salah. Before we finish that, to not leave it on a bad note, right?
Right.
This is the best part, though. Christ died for us
because
he loves us.
Right.
So all our sisters out there, so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian sisters, if you had abortions before, guess what? There's people that did all types of wicked before. You understand? Because Christ died for us, you can change your life.
Right.
You can be forgiven of all that evil you did and make it as it never existed. But that's if you're willing to do the work. So, Baba Kushak, can I get that verse again from the top, verse 25?
Verse 25. Now therefore I pray thee, pardon my sin, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Most High.
And he said, man, he's crying his heart out to Samuel, man. He wants Samuel to forgive him. He wants Samuel to talk to the Lord for him. Like, just holler at him for me. Tell him I ain't mean it. Tell him I'm sorry. Tell him I'm a change. You understand? He's trying to get in good graces. Let's keep reading and see what happens.
God, verse 26. And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with thee.
He said, what?
I will not return with thee.
Samuel was a hardcore brother, man. He wasn't trying to hear that. He said, nah, man. You showed who you are. That's your true colors. Come on, what you gonna say?
There's something that I'm thinking about. Like first expression is the expression.
First impressions?
Yeah.
There you go. That's some. But Samuel said, I am not going to return with thee, man. You understand? And why won't he go back with him?
For thou hast rejected the word of the Most High.
Because he rejected the word of the Most High God, man. You understand? That's not something to be taken lightly. It's not something you can brush under the rug.
Right.
Let's keep reading.
And the Most High have rejected thee from being king over Israel.
And the Most High God rejected him from being king over Israel, man. You understand? Let's drop down on verse 29.
God, verse 29. We're in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15, verse 29. And also the strength of Israel will not lie nor repent.
And the Most High God is not going to lie nor repent, man. What the Lord says, what the Lord said, man. He said, listen, Saul is not fit to run this kingdom. He is not fit to be the king, and I'm going to remove him from being the king. You understand? So now, that made Saul extra spicy, man. It hurt. You understand? It hurt him to know that he had all his power and all his might. You understand? Through the grace and mercy and the power of the Most High God, and he messed it up. And he screwed it up, and he didn't know if he could fix it or not. You understand? Let's drop down to chapter 16. We're going to start at verse 1.
God, 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 1. And the Most High said unto Samuel, how long wilt thou mourn for Saul?
It says, how long will thou mourn for Saul? You understand? Because Samuel was bothered by that, man. He was bothered that Saul didn't fill out the job. And he wasn't up to par to do the job that the Lord required him to do. Let's keep reading.
See, I have rejected him from reigning over Israel.
And that's why he's not going to reign over Israel no more. Let's go. Let's keep going.
Fill thine horn with oil and go. I will send thee to Jesse, the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king among his sons.
And he says, listen, man, don't worry about him. Stop crying over Saul. That's old spilled milk. Go down there to the Bethlehemite, Jesse, and find his son, because one of his sons is going to be my new king. You understand? But the Most High God also told him to fill that horn with oil. You understand? That anointing that we do here in the I.S.U.P.K. and in Commander YAHANNA, it's straight out of the Bible, man. You understand? This we following the laws of the Most High God. We following our covenant. Saul got anointed. You understand? He said, get that oil and go anoint my next king. Let's keep reading.
God. Verse 2. And Samuel said, how can I go? If Saul hear it, he will kill me.
And Samuel said, how can I go do that, Most High? He said, how you want me to go anoint the next king? And we got a king. And he has the power and the might. And he's angry. You understand? He's angry. He's prideful. He lives for himself. You understand? He's caught up in his own hype. He's living in a bubble. He thinks he's a damn God. And if he finds out that I'm going to go find the next king and anoint the next king, he will kill me.
Right.
You understand? Samuel was on to something. You understand? Samuel read this brother's spirit, and he knew that spirit read wrong. He said, I can't go do that with him in power. He'll kill me. You understand? The same brother he was sitting there crying to and asking him to go speak to the Lord for him and tell him how sorry he is for what he did and that he messed up and he's so sorry he'll never do it again. And Samuel knew that that brother will kill me. He'll kill me if he finds out what I'm doing. Let's keep reading.
God. And the Most High said, take in heifer with thee, and say, I am come to.
And the Most High God told him, take one of these animals with you, man. You're going to do a sacrifice for the Lord. Make them like you're doing a sacrifice to the Most High God so that they don't know what you're doing. Throw them off. You understand? Keep them off your trail. Let's keep reading.
God. Verse 3. And call Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will show thee what thou shalt do. Whom I name unto thee.
Go down there with this heifer and go make this sacrifice. You understand? Jesse's gonna come. Call Jesse to come to the sacrifice, and I'm gonna tell you which one of his sons I want to be my next king. You understand? Just go do what the Lord said. And Samuel, being a man of the Lord, he said, "Con, one con." Let's keep reading.
God, verse 4. And Samuel did that which the Most High spake.
Samuel said, "Con, out of one con." We ain't got that job done. Let's keep going.
And came to Bethlehem, and the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, comest thou peaceably?
And they seen Samuel coming, the man of the Lord, man. They was nervous, you understand?
Right.
Because they thought somebody was in trouble.
Right.
They thought somebody was going to get that work because they know how Samuel get down, and they know Samuel works for the Most High God, who is a man of war. You understand? Who is a man of war and correction. So they seen Samuel come in, and they got nervous. They said, oh, man, somebody done messed up, man. Somebody's going to pay for it today. Let's find out if he's coming peacefully. Let's drop down to verse 7.
God, verse 7. But the Most High said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature.
And this is because after Samuel got to Bethlehem, you understand, he told him he came peaceably, you understand. He was looking at the sons. He talked to Jesse, he talked about Jesse and his sons, and he's looking for his sons. So Jesse's showing him his sons. He's showing him the oldest sons, the oldest to the youngest, you understand. He showed him a few of his sons, and the Most High God told Samuel, listen, man, this is what I'm looking for. Let's read it again from the top.
God, verse 7. But the Most High look not on his countenance or on the, because I have refused him. For the as man seeth.
Because the Lord don't see as man see, man. The Lord said, listen, don't look at his height. Don't look at his stature. You understand? I don't give a damn if he's 7'4". I give a damn if he's 250, if he lifts weights with his teeth. I don't care if he's super strong, super tall, super handsome. None of that means anything to the Lord. You understand? The Lord not looking with his eyes how humans look with their eyes, how they see things. I want that. Yes, I like that. You understand? That's what brings that jealous spirit in the first place. You understand? Wanting things with your eyes and not knowing better. Let's keep reading.
God, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Most High looketh on the heart.
And that's exactly what he said. He said, because the man looks on the outside appearance. The woman looks on the outside appearance. She see her brother, she's like, he look nice. Look how he smiled. He got a ring on. He wear chains. Look at his shoes. They look on the outward instead of looking on the inside. You understand? The Most High God is looking at people's heart. Come on with it. Which one say? That's what they say, right? That's what they, and then they be in a relationship with the dude. He beating on him because he's evil. You understand? She ain't looking at his heart. But the Most High God's not looking on appearances. He's looking inside. He's looking inside to see what's in your heart.
Right.
Let's keep reading.
God, verse 8. Salakia. Then Jesse called Abinadab and made him pass before Samuel. And he said, neither have the Most High chosen this.
You understand? The Lord didn't want that son. Let's keep reading.
Verse 9. Then Jesse made Shammah to pass by, and he said, neither have the Most High chosen this.
You understand? Let's drop down to 11. Because Jesse just bringing his sons out. Requires. He's showing them all his sons. Let's get verse 11.
Verse 11. And Samuel said unto Jesse, are here all thy children? And he said, there remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep.
And when Samuel asked Jesse, he says, this all your kids? Did you show me all your children? He said, the youngest child, you understand? The youngest child was out there in the field with the sheep. He keeps the sheep. Right. He's outside. You understand? Let's keep reading.
Come. And Samuel said unto Jesse, send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he come hither.
You understand? Samuel said, go get him. Go get him and bring him here. You understand? Because we're not going to do anything until he comes. We need to see all the kids. And I done seen the other ones, so bring that young boy. Let's keep reading.
Come, verse 12. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy and withal of a beautiful countenance and goodly to look to. And the Most High said, arise, anoint him, for this is he.
Yeah. He was a young-faced man. You understand? He was a young-faced little pretty boy. You understand? For New Age terms. You understand? David, the little young one, he was who the Lord wanted, though. Right. The Lord said, no, that's him. Get him and anoint him, for this is going to be the next king. Right. This young man right here that keep the sheep that people didn't even think about. Jesse brought all his sons in front of Samuel and forgot about David because he's like, surely not the man who's watching the sheep. You understand? They counted David out. You understand? But the Lord looks on people's heart and not on appearances. Let's keep reading.
Verse 13. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren.
And Samuel took that oil, the same oil that we use out here, you understand? And he poured it on David's head, man. Yes, and anointed him. You understand? And told him what was going on. The Lord had chosen him to be the next king. Let's keep reading.
And the spirit of the Most High came upon David.
And the spirit of the Lord came upon David, man. You understand? He was a holy man.
Right.
You understand? He had the spirit of the Lord on him. Let's keep reading.
From that day forward, so Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. Verse 14. But the spirit of the Most High departed from Saul.
And when that spirit of the Most High God got poured on David, you understand? After David got anointed and the spirit of the Most High God came upon David, it left from Saul, man. Right. You understand? So you can imagine how this man who was in charge of everything, who was the big kahuna, the big dog, top gun, when the Lord left him. You understand? When the Lord left him and he realized how insignificant and small he was. You understand? Wow. How he can be made to be littler than the tiniest speck of dust for going against what the Most High God said. Right. Now this little young boy who's full of energy, you understand? Full of energy and got a good heart. He has the spirit of the Lord on him. Let's keep reading and see what happened to Saul.
God, and an evil spirit from the Most High troubled him.
And a what?
And an evil spirit from the Most High.
This evil spirit that troubled this brother after the Lord's spirit left him, it came from the Lord as well. Right. You understand? The Lord put that evil spirit on him. He said, you want to be evil? Here. Deal with this. You understand? Deal with all this corruption and pain and all this trials and tribulations you have to go through because you didn't want to follow what the Lord says. Man. Right. Remember the stuff that was going on before family. Man. Man. Nobody wants that. Let's keep reading.
Right. Verse 15. And Saul's servants said unto him, Behold, now an evil spirit from the Most High troubleth thee.
And his servants troubling you, man. You understand? And you know how they do. Troubling them. It is troubling them. Like, man, listen, you stressed out, man. You acting crazy. You're doing a lot, man. What's going on with you? Maybe we need to relax or something. Let's see what his servant told him. Let's keep reading.
God, verse 16. Let our Lord now command thy servants, which are before thee, to seek out a man who is a cunning player of an harp. And it shall come to pass, when he is upon thee, that he shall play, and thou shalt be well.
And they said, listen, man, you are angry all the time. You understand? You got some hate in your heart, and it is bothering you.
Right.
And it's overwhelming, and it's bad to be around. You understand?
Right.
You know, they say misery loves company.
Right.
Nobody wants to be in the company of misery, though. You understand? Only other miserable people. And even miserable people don't want miserable people around them.
Right.
Because they want happy people around them so they can make them miserable.
Yeah, right.
They don't want other miserable people around them. They want to destroy happy people. You understand? Because they pulling people down in that dark, lonely pit with them.
Right.
You understand? They said, listen, man, you can't be running around like this. Let us go find a man that's good with the harp. You understand? Harp was an instrument back in the days. You understand?
Right.
So let's go find a man that's good with the harp. Because music is soothing to the soul.
Right.
The same way it is right now. You understand? How many days we have bad days, long, stressful days? You just want to go home, take a little bath, wash your body, watch a little TV, probably drink a little wine, listen to some music. Just sit there in the damn dark, listen to music.
Right.
And it ease the body, it ease the brain. You understand? Music is soothing to the soul. But they said, man, you gotta find this good, you gotta find a good harp player so that when you get this evil spirit, he can play this good music and calm your ass down. You understand? Because you acting a fool. Let's keep reading.
Verse 17. And Saul said unto his servants, Provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me.
And Saul said, yeah, we're going to do that. Go find somebody that can do that. Now, mind you, the spirit of the Most High God left this brother, but he is still the king. So he still commands people.
Right.
He still has the same power and the same might, but he doesn't have the spirit of the Lord. And he is angry and stressed and in a bad place because the Lord is not with him.
Right.
He's still the king, though. All the things he thought was so great and so beautiful, he disobeyed the Lord because he felt that power. He's still the king, but he don't have the spirit of the Lord on him. Right. That's a losing battle. That's a losing fight. Let's keep reading.
Verse 18. Then answered one of the servants and said, Behold, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, that is cunning and plain, and a mighty valiant man, and a man of war, and prudent in matters. And the Most High is with him.
And that's a nice that they said about this boy here, man.
Damn right.
You understand? That was damn near an intro to accepting the award. You know?
Right.
And so he ran his whole accolades down. They said he do everything, man. Right. This man was good, you understand? Because the Lord was with this brother, man. They said he is a cunning player and a mighty valiant man. You understand? Right. He's a man of war and prudent in matters.
Right.
And a comely person. You understand? David was the bee's knees. You understand?
Right.
And look how funny this is, right? Because he's stressed because the spirit of the Lord is taken away from him.
Right.
And now he got this evil spirit on him for disobeying the Most High God. And this young brother, who he doesn't even know yet, is anointed to be the next king.
Right.
And this is who they send to help you get out of that evil spirit. The man that's going to take your place is going to come soothe you and comfort you.
Right.
Because you didn't want to listen. Because you thought it was better to serve yourself and serve people. Let's keep reading.
Verse 19. Wherefore Saul sent messengers unto Jesse, and said, Send me David thy son, which is with the sheep. Verse 20. And Jesse took an ass laden with wine and a kid, and sent them by unto Saul.
And see, Jesse's being a regular man, respected the king. He said, you want my son? I will send them because you asked for it. And I'll send gifts. You understand?
Right.
He still had his power He just didn't have the Lord on his side, so he was losing.
Right.
He was going downhill fast. Let's keep reading.
Verse 21. And David came to Saul and stood before him, and he loved him greatly.
And he what?
Loved him greatly.
And he loved David, man, because David was an honorable man. He was a good brother. You understand? He was a man of the Lord. There's nothing not to love. Let's keep reading.
God. And he became his armor bearer.
And David became his armor bearer. You understand? He became a worker for the king.
Salaki, can you break down that 21st verse again, what you just said?
21st verse again?
Can I read it again? And David came to Saul and stood before him, and he loved him greatly, and he became his armor.
Which part? Somebody he loved him greatly?
The whole thing that you just said. Can you just repeat it?
Yeah, I said when David came to Saul, he loved him. You
Right.
understand? Because David was a man of the Lord.
Right.
And was not the love. You understand? He was a good brother.
Right.
He was a man of the Lord. He was a righteous brother. There's nothing not to love. You understand?
Right. Verse 22. And Saul sent to Jesse, saying, Let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he hath found favor in my sight.
See, and he found like they said in verse 8, great things David was doing, man. You understand? What's not to love?
Right.
Like this brother here, he like a creative player.
No.
He like a creative player in a video game. He do everything. You understand? But that's because the Lord was with this brother, man.
Right.
And the Lord will guide your feet and guide your hands, man. And put you in the places you need to be.
God.
And give you the talents to do the things you need to do to get by, man. These are all gifts from the Lord, man.
Yeah, right.
And Saul lost these gifts trying to serve people.
Right.
Trying to get his likes up. Trying to get some followers.
Right.
You understand? Instead of following the Lord. That's the game. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the Lord.
Right.
Let's keep reading.
Verse 23. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from the Most High was upon Saul, that David took an harp and played with his hands. He was refreshed and as well, and it departed from him.
And when Saul was having that evil spirit come back on him, when he was getting all evil and all deceitful and just grouchy, you understand, and just down and bad to be around, acting all miserable, then David came. You understand? This man of the Lord came up in there and played that harp and soothed him. You understand? But what was really soothing was the fact that this brother was of the Lord. You understand? Right. And that was Saul's chance to be around the Lord again. That's what really soothed his soul. The fact that this man right here served the Lord. And this is the closest I'm going to get to the Lord since the Lord done departed from me. It was easing to his soul. You understand? Calmed him down.
Right.
It made him happy inside. Let's drop that. Let's go to verse 17. We're going to start at verse 20.
God. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 20. And David rose up early in the morning and left the sheep with a keeper and took and went as Jesse had commanded him.
In the sight of Saul, right? So Saul he had David around damn near all the time. You understand? He became obsessed with David. But he was really obsessed with being around the Lord. He was mad and angry at himself for being foolish enough to do what he did and have the Lord depart from him. You understand? So he's out here. He got David running around with him. David's brothers went to battle against the Philistines with King Saul. So he got a couple of his brothers over there and a bunch of men from Israel, and they in the field. They ready to go to battle. And David's father Jesse told him, "Listen, grab these things, grab this bread, grab this food, and bring it to your brothers in the army so they can have food while they out there."
God.
So David jumped up early and he went to go do what his father said. Let's keep reading.
And he came to the trench as the host was going forth to the fight and shouted for the battle. Verse 1. For Israel and the Philistines had put the battle in array, army against army.
And they about to get down, man. You understand? They about to get down and fight. And David's out there. He came out here to do the work that his father sent him to do. Let's see what happens here.
Verse 22. And David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage and ran into the army and came and saluted his brethren.
And David ran out to the battle. He ran out there to the field where it was about to go down, man. He left his carriage with somebody else. I said, you watch this. I'm going to go over here real fast, see what's going on.
Right.
But like we read in the last chapter, it said David was a man of war. You understand? That young boy, he had a lot of good traits. He had a lot of good characteristics. You understand? He was a man of war. So this boy enticed him. Let's keep reading.
Verse 23. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name. Philistines, and spake according to the same words, and David heard them.
And this big great Philistine, right? This guy Goliath, man, he was talking smack, man. You understand? He came out there, he was talking crazy to Israel. He's like, man, listen, ain't nobody over there going to do nothing to me. You understand? Can't none of y'all deal with me. You understand? Can't none of y'all deal with me in this battle.
Right.
So I don't know why y'all came here. You understand? And he said the same thing, and David was there this time, and David heard it. And David, being a man of God, you understand? David like the cheat code. He like the creative player. He does everything. Right. Let's find out what David did.
God. Most High Christ. Verse 24. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him, and were so afraid.
And all the other men of Israel, they were scared to death of this Goliath cat, man. It's like, you see this big dude, man. Listen, man, what we gonna do with him?
Right.
They trying to get out of there. They was nervous. They was so afraid. Let's keep reading.
Verse 25. And the men of Israel said, have ye seen this man that is come up? Surely to defy Israel is he come up. And it shall be that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel.
And they said, listen, man, you see this big guy right here? This big beast? Right. They said, this guy right here, surely he came to do some damage to Israel, man. He came out here to put a hurting on somebody, man. And whoever destroys him, whoever kills him, the king is going to give him riches.
Right.
The king is going to be very, very happy with that man that kills this guy right here. That kills this threat to Israel, man. He said, we're going to give him riches. They're going to give him his daughter. The king going to make his family free.
Right.
You understand? Let's keep reading.
Verse 26. And David spake to the men that stood by him, saying, what shall be done to the man that killeth the Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from Israel?
And David wanted to know. He said, what you said? He said, what's going to happen if we do what the who? You understand? David wanted to know because David was fearless. You understand? David wasn't afraid of this damn guy. You understand? You know why he wasn't afraid? Because David served the Lord.
Right.
He wasn't worried about this cat. He said, listen, man, surely he ain't stronger and more powerful than the Most High God. So what's the deal with this guy right here? Let's keep reading.
God, Salakia. For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living power?
And that's exactly what he said. He said, who is this guy that think he's going to come up here and do anything to the Most High God's people? Are you kidding me? I ain't worried about it. Let's keep reading.
Verse 27. And the people answered him after this manner, saying, who shall it be done to the man that killeth him?
And they told him the same thing. They said, man, listen, man, you're going to get all these great things if you could kill this brother, man. Let's drop down to 31. Biblical shot.
God. Verse 31. And when the word, they rehearsed them before Saul.
Because David was on it. He's like, man, listen, I ain't worried about this. Like, I will hurt this dude. I ain't got enough. I will kill him. I will absolutely destroy him. You understand? Because the Lord is with me. Right. So I'm not worried about this cat. Who's God, man. He said, y'all worried about this cat, man. We serve the Lord. You're supposed to be knowing that you're going to win this damn battle. Right. You understand? But the spirit of the Most High was on David. You understand? Let's keep reading.
Verse 32. And David said unto Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him.
He said, let no man's heart fail because of him, man. You understand? Don't be weak. Don't be weak. Don't forget who the power is.
Right.
Don't fall weak because of yourself. Get out of your own thoughts, you understand? Serve the Lord and know what's going on. Let's keep reading.
Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine.
And David said, I'll go fight with him. I'll go fight with this cat that everybody's so afraid of. That everybody's over here whispering about. I'll go handle it.
Verse 33. And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him. Thou art but a youth, and he a man of youth.
And the king said, Saul said to David, he said, man, listen, I don't know, man. He said, you just a kid, you understand? And this guy right here, he was a man of war since he was a kid.
Right.
You understand? But this is Saul not understanding and knowing how valuable this guy David was yet.
Right.
Not knowing how mighty David was yet. Not knowing that David was anointed to take his spot. He's anointed to be the next king.
Right.
You understand? A better king. Let's keep reading.
Verse 34. And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion, a lamb out of the flock.
And David telling him a story about when he was out the house keeping the sheep. He said, man, there came a lion one time and a bear. And they took lamb out the flock. They took our stuff. Right. They took our property. Let's see what David did.
Verse 35. And I went out after him and smote him and delivered it out of his mouth.
That lion. He fought with that damn bear. And
right.
He killed that wild beast. He killed the lion, he killed the bear, and took his damn lamb out of their mouth and brought the lamb back. You understand?
Right.
Safe and sound.
Yeah, right.
He's like, I ain't worried about this cat over here. I kill lions.
Right.
I kill bears. You understand? How did he do this though? Let's keep reading.
And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him. Verse 36. Thy servant and the bear, and this uncircumcised shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of the living power.
And he said, listen, man, I big goofball over here, he ain't gonna be no different than bear. Right. Because he's going against the Most High God's people, man. He's disrespecting the Lord's children right now. And surely he gonna get this work. Let's keep reading.
Verse 37. David said, moreover, the Most High that delivered me out of the paw of the lion.
The what? Of the lion. The Most High delivered him out of that paw of the lion, man. David knew where his power and his strength came from, man.
Right.
David knew who to serve. He knew where he was walking with. He said, man, listen, I ain't worried about this cat.
Right.
The Lord saved me from the damn lion.
Right.
The Lord saved me from the bear. Surely he'll save me from this great heathen, this great big sloppy heathen who's coming over here to hurt the Lord's children. Let's keep reading.
And out of the paw of the bear, which he will deliver me out of the hand of the Philistine. And Saul said unto David, go, and the Most High be with thee.
Well, you go, and the Lord be with you. You understand? I'll be with you, because the Most High ain't with Saul. You understand? That's why Saul didn't think it was possible.
Right.
Because Saul don't have the Lord's spirit on him no more. He got an evil spirit on him. So he's not even paying attention to the fact that he served the Most High God. You don't have to worry about anything. You understand? The Most High God created everything. The Most High God will make it so you can win. He'll make it so you have a way. You understand? But David knew these things, man. David knew these things because David was in tune and David was obedient. Let's keep reading.
God, verse 38. And Saul armed David with his armor, and he put on a helmet of brass upon his head, and of mail.
And the king gave David his armor, sent them out there ready for war, ready to fight, right? Let's drop down to 41.
God, verse 41. And the Philistine came to David, and the man shield went before him. Verse 42. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him. A youth and ruddy and countenance.
And when this great big sloppy heathen seen David, you understand? He looked at him like, man, y'all serious? Y'all got this young boy right here, man. This young boy can't do nothing with me. You understand? I'm a great big man of war. He's a young child, man. He's a young baby-faced child.
Right.
What is he going to do to me? Let's drop down to verse 50.
God, verse 50. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone and smote the Philistine. But there was no sword in the hand of David.
And a damn sword. You understand?
Right.
David went out there with some rocks and some string.
Right.
And killed this big giant heathen that thought he was going to do something. That thought he had the upper hand and he had the advantage. You understand? But David had the Most High God with him, man.
Right.
You understand? So you can imagine this young boy out here doing all these great works, doing all these great things, man. You understand? Surely people are watching him. Surely people are looking at what he's doing.
Right.
Watching all his accolades. You understand? Counting his achievements. You understand? And that right there in itself is a problem.
Yeah, right.
If you sitting there watching your brothers or your sisters' achievements and counting their accolades and counting what they're doing and watching their pockets, watching their lives, that's off. You understand? There's something wrong with you if you're doing that, man. We're gonna find out what that wrong thing is. So let's drop that. We're gonna go to 18. We're gonna start at verse 1.
God. 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 1. And it came to pass when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan with the soul of David. And Jonathan loved him as his own soul.
And after David did all that work and killed that Philistine, you understand, and killed that heathen, Saul was impressed, you understand? So Saul got a little bit closer to David than he already was, you understand? He started speaking with him, talking with him, and he's inquiring and asking him things, you understand? And then Jonathan, the king's son, he loved David. He's like, man, this is my brother.
Right.
This cat is absolutely amazing and wonderful and a joy to be around, and I love him, you understand? It said their souls was knit. You understand? Jonathan loved David more than he loved himself.
Yeah, right.
You understand? The same way David loved Jonathan, man. The way brothers are supposed to love one another, man. The way the Lord said it should be. Come on with me.
In the scripture, it said that they loved each other more than they loved women.
Right. He said the love of my brother surpassed the love of a woman. I'm paraphrasing, of course.
Right.
But listen, man. The real brotherhood, man. Your brother's gonna love you more than your damn wife.
Right.
More than your daughter loves you. It's real. You understand? It only comes from the Most High God, man. You understand? You only get stuff like that through the Lord.
Right.
You ain't gonna get it no other way. It's impossible to get it outside the word. You have to get it from the Lord. Let's keep reading.
God, verse 2. And Saul took him that day and would let him go no more home to his father's house.
And Saul kept David. He said, listen, you're not going nowhere. You're not going home no more. You're gonna stay here. You're gonna stay here with us. You understand? Let's keep reading.
Verse 3. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant because he loved him as his own soul.
And Jonathan and David, they made a covenant, man. They was together. They was bonded. They was together. They was in unison, man. They was good brothers. You understand? They loved each other. They cared dearly for each other. Not in no funny way that you let other people be moving.
Right,
you understand?
right.
In a righteous way. You understand? In a righteous warrior spirit with it. Let's drop down to verse 5.
Verse 5. And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him.
And David became like one of Saul's sons, man. You understand? He's living up under this man. You seen Saul that won't let him go home to his father's house no more. He said, no, you're going to stay here.
Right.
You have to stay around me. You understand? And not even knowing, or probably he did know, but subconsciously, it's all because David was a man of the Lord.
Right.
And Saul was trying to keep the Lord around him. He was trying to keep the Most High God around him. And the only way to that was to have David around. Samuel departed from him. You understand? The only way to keep the Lord around him was to have David around. Let's keep reading.
And behaved himself wisely.
And he did what?
Behaved himself wisely.
And David was an upright man. You understand? David was a solid dude. Let's keep reading.
And Saul set him over the men of war.
And Saul put David in charge of the army. You understand? He said, listen, man, we seen what you can do. War. You're gonna be in charge of all these warriors and all these soldiers.
And he was accepted in the sight of all the people.
And they loved David, man. You understand? They loved David, they praised David, they honored David.
In the sight of Saul's servants.
And also in the sight, you understand? Everybody loved David, man. Everybody was in tune with David. You understand? That's also dangerous. When they got somebody in power, a little bit more power than you, and they start seeing you that everybody loves you.
Right.
Everybody's taking kindly to you. Everybody likes you around. You understand? It plays in their mind.
Right.
You understand? And if you're one of those people that get those problems, you better fight it.
All right.
You better fight it. You better seek counsel, and you better not do it. Let's keep reading.
Verse 6. And it came to pass, as they came, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistines, that the cities of Israel, singing, and they song with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music.
And when they came back from the war, you understand? When David came back from all them heathens, there was a bunch of women out there. You understand? Doing what women do. You understand? Having a good damn time.
Right.
Just running around shaking rump. You know what they do. You understand? They out there singing and dancing, partying. You understand? They came to meet King Saul.
Right.
Let's keep reading.
Verse 7. And the women answered one another as they played, and said, Saul hath slain his thousands.
Slain thousands of men. You understand? This is what the women say. The next part right here. This is the tweet. You understand? This is where things turn up. Because now there's women around. You understand?
Right.
So everybody's poking chest out.
Right.
Everybody wants to be the biggest, baddest wolf.
Right.
You understand? So the women says Saul killed thousands of people. Let's keep reading.
And David, his 10,000s.
And they said David kills 10,000s. You understand? So now, this contest, you understand? We're gonna keep it clean. We're gonna keep it clean for YouTube. This contest that's going on, that's not even a real contest.
Right.
It's only going on in the head of a person that already had this bad spirit and bad mind.
Right.
You understand? Because the truth is the truth. It says Saul killed thousands. He probably did kill thousands.
Right.
But that brother over there, he kills tens of thousands of people.
Right.
He puts in a little bit more work in the war department than you do.
Right.
And that's cool. You might not be the greatest warrior. You might not be the biggest, baddest killing machine. You understand? There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But when you're mad and you're angry about what's going on, then there's a little problem.
Right.
You understand? Let's keep reading.
Verse 8. And Saul was very wroth.
And Saul was tired. He ain't like that. You understand? He ain't like the fact that them women was out there praising and talking about the work of David.
Right.
And David's work was a little bit better than Saul's work in the field. You understand? It was just like that. It was what it was. But he didn't like that at all. You understand? He didn't like that. Let's keep reading.
And the saying displeased him.
And it displeased him. You understand? And who you think he angry at? He not mad at the woman that said it. It'll never go that way. He ain't mad at the woman that said it. He's looking at his brother. Like, so you killed 10,000s and I only killed thousands? Let's keep reading.
And he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000s. And to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can we have more but the king? And what can he have more but the king?
He was wondering. He said, so now he killed more people than me, right? And everybody loves this cat. He's a man of war. He played a harp good. You know, he's a man of valiant. He's comely. So what else does he want? Does he want the kingdom? What else can he have more than me?
Right.
Is he gonna have the kingdom? And boom, a light bulb went off in his head, right? But listen, you ain't got no say-so of what's going on. This brother been anointed to be the king since the day you met him.
Right.
Since before you even met this cat. You done fell in love with him. You had found favor. He found favor in your sight. You done put him above your army. You don't even know why you're doing all these things. You understand? That's the Lord, man. You understand? That's the Lord. The Lord was getting David in a position in a spot. See fit to be the king. He had to be around the king and see how to be the damn king.
Right.
You understand? You don't even know you done trained up this brother to be the king. Let's keep reading.
Verse 9. And Saul eyed David from that day and forward.
And Saul was mad at David after that, man. You understand? That set it off. He was eyeing him down after that.
Right.
You understand? Now his eye was evil towards David. You understand? He was jealous of David.
Right.
Which is a weak feminine emotion. You understand?
Yeah, right.
To be jealous of another man. To be jealous of what someone else is doing. You understand? It's weak and it's effeminate and it's against what the Lord says. You understand?
Right.
The Lord doesn't like that. Jealousy causes division, man. And the Lord doesn't want division among his people.
Right.
You understand? Jealousy causes corruption. Jealousy causes death, man. Jealousy causes death. If that brother's jealous of you, he wants to see you harm.
Right.
He wants to see you removed out of the way and out of his path so that he don't have to feel little about himself.
Yeah, right.
So that he don't have to have insecurities playing his head and bother him every day. He'd rather see you dead. He'd rather see somebody hurt you and get you up out of the picture so he don't got to look at all your great achievements and watch you accomplish more things. Jealousy is very dangerous.
Right.
Let's keep reading.
Verse 10. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from the Most High came upon Saul.
And that evil spirit came right back upon Saul, man. You understand? And we had David there who used to play the harp. You understand? David used to come calm him down. When he be troubled in a bad space, his brother David was there to the rescue, man. Let's see what happens this time.
And he prophesied in the midst of the house, and David played with his hand, as at other times. And there was a javelin in Saul's head. Verse 11. And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, even to the wall with it.
Who was doing nothing but being a good brother, you understand? Seeing that his brother was distressed, and he came and played that harp that he usually played to calm him down, man. You understand? But Saul being so angry and so jealous and so bitter and so weak and so just distasteful about the women saying that David kills 10,000s and you only killed thousands. He was angry at David. You understand? This brother did nothing wrong to him. He was so angry at David that he threw this javelin at him. You understand? And David got away from that though. You understand? And from that day forward, from the day that happened with the women, Saul was angry at David, man. You understand?
Cool.
Saul was angry at David and seek to cause David harm. You understand? For David being a good, righteous brother, he had beef with the king. Let's keep reading.
And David avoided out of his presence. Verse 12. And Saul was afraid of David.
And that's what it all boils down to, man. You understand? If you say that you jealous of a man or you jealous of a sister, guess what? More times than not, you're afraid of that person, man. You're afraid of that person.
Right.
You're afraid of all the great things they can do. You're probably afraid they could beat you up. You're probably afraid because you don't think you're as good as them. You understand? You're afraid of them. In some way, shape, or fashion, you are afraid of that person that you are jealous of. You understand? This is a weak, nasty disease. Right. Let's keep reading.
The Most High was with him and was departed from Saul.
And that's why he was angry. You understand? He was angry. You understand? And Saul wasn't. You understand? The Lord on him. And he was angry that David did. You understand? He was angry that David did have the Lord's soul on him. Let's drop that. Let's go to 19 and 1 real fast. Both of show.
God, 1 Samuel chapter 19, verse 1. And Saul spake to Jonathan his son, and to all his servants, that they should kill David.
And Saul told his son, like, listen, man, we're going to kill David. He told all his servants, we're going to kill David. David needs to die. You understand? Surely he had no reason to say that. He just, and he's like, why you want to kill David? Because he's so damn good. Because he's so good. He's so talented. He's so kind and he's so loving. and he's so God-fearing. Then he has to die. You understand? Absolute hate, man. You understand? Hate and disgust.
Right.
And it's filthy and disgusting for anyone to be that way, man. You understand? Let's read verse 2 about Shah.
Verse 2. But Jonathan, Saul's son, delighted much in David. And Jonathan told David, saying, seeketh to kill thee. Now therefore I pray, take heed to thyself until the morning, and abide in a secret place and hide thyself.
And David had to go on the run, man, because Jonathan loved David so much that he went against his father.
Right.
And told his brother, he said, listen, man, my pops is tripping. He got some jealous spirit on him, and it's terrible because now he wants to see you dead.
Right.
And I don't want to see no harm come to you because I love you. So you got to get up out of here, man. You got to get your stuff and you got to flee from here. Mind you, Saul kept David in his home. You understand? He kept David from going to his father's house. He made David stay around him. You understand? And David did nothing but excel and progress. Excel and progress. And it drove Saul mad. You understand? And that's just the disgustingness of it, man. Let's hold that for a second. Let's drop that. Go to 1 John, Barbara Shot. Go to 1 John chapter 1 and that's just chapter 1. Chapter 3. It's locked. Get there with you. You want to go to chapter 3, verse 15.
1 John chapter 3, verse 15. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
It says, whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer. You understand? If you hate your brother, man, that's the spirit of a murderer, man. If you are jealous of your brother, guess what? You kill him. If you hate him, you're jealous of him, you wish harm on that brother, man. You might as well kill him. It's the same as being a damn murderer. To hate your brother is equivalent to being a murderer, man.
Right.
Saul being jealous of David is equivalent to him wanting to murder him. And that's why through time, that spirit came out. And he wanted to kill David. You understand? Because he hated him. Because he was jealous of him. And the scriptures say plain as day, if you hate your brother, you are a murderer.
Damn right.
You understand? You hate your brother, you hate your sister, guess what? You'll murder them. You'll murder them. You thought you'd get away with it, and you thought nobody was looking, and you had the damn opportunity or the chance, or you had to drop, you would murder them.
Right.
You understand? It's how evil and wicked it is. You understand? All based on some simple garbage of you being jealous. You want something that they have. You looking at things that they're doing and thinking that's why you can't get that. Why that's not happening for you. Why it can't be you. You understand? All that what was me garbage, man. You understand? Let's drop that. We're going to hold Samuel, but we're going to go to Exodus real fast. Bible shot. We're going to go to Exodus chapter 20.
God.
We're going to go to verse 17. All that is garbage, man. To sit there and look at people and want what they have and think about why you can't have it or why you didn't get the chance to get it. All that is evil, man.
Right.
And all that causes is sin. All it causes is sin and deception and division, man. And all these things are terrible and go against what the Most High God wants for his people, man. You're a so-called black, Hispanic, Native Indian man, woman, and child. You shouldn't be jealous of none of your damn brothers and sisters, man.
Damn right.
You shouldn't want nothing they have. You understand? You should want what the Lord has in store for you.
Right.
You should want to do what the Lord tell you to do. That's all you should want.
Right.
Forget what he got for you. You should do what he tell you to do. You should just want what he wants from you. Let's get that. You could, Bible shot. Book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 17.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Thou shalt not what?
Covet thy neighbor's house.
It says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Let's pull it up for the people at home that might not know what covet means. You understand?
God.
We're going to get it real fast. I got it right here. Covet, yearn, to possess or have something. You understand? To want. You understand? To sit there and want. To look at another brother or sister, come down the block and be like, damn, I want them Jordans, man. I couldn't get those joints, but I want them Jordans, man. To look at a brother walking with his damn woman and say, damn, I want her. You understand? You shouldn't want nothing that nobody else has. You understand? All brothers and sisters out there making love and wanting to be in relationships with these nasty, dirty heathens, man. You understand? Guess what? You are covetous of that next heathen's woman. You understand?
Right.
You look at that damn dirty dog that damn dog lady, and you like, yeah, I want one of those. I want me a little snow bunny. So everybody think I'm doing good. I done came up, called me a snow bunny. You know what you really do? You want what the damn oppressor has, man.
Right.
You want his woman. You want his life. That's what you want. You want to be able to walk in those stores and not be bothered. You want to live in those neighborhoods. You want his life. It's a terrible thing, and the Lord said not to do it. Let's read it again from the top. Baba Bashar.
Right. Exodus chapter 20, verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, man. Don't want what they have. Don't want their living situation. You understand? Don't want the job that he has. Don't want to get paid what he gets paid. Don't want to be in his situation. Let's keep reading.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife.
And you damn sure shouldn't covet your neighbor's wife. You shouldn't want your brothers or your sisters' wives, man. You understand? You shouldn't want your brother's wives to lock you. You shouldn't want your brother's wives. That's nasty. It's filthy. It's disgusting, man. Right. It says, let every man have his own wife. You shouldn't want your brother's wife. Let's keep reading.
Nor his manservant.
Nor his manservant.
Nor his maidservant.
Nor his maidservant.
Nor his ox.
Nor his animals.
Nor his ass.
You understand? You shouldn't want what? Last one.
Nor anything that is thy neighbor.
You shouldn't want anything that is of your brothers and sisters, man. You shouldn't want any of this stuff, man.
Right.
You shouldn't steal because you wanted it. You understand? You shouldn't do none of these things, man. It saves you. Right. It'll save you from yourself. You understand? Following what the Lord said. The Lord said, don't be wanting what other people have, man.
Right.
You understand? You want it so damn bad, you get it, and guess what? It might ruin you. It just might ruin you. Because it probably is not for you. If it was for you, you would have had it.
Yeah, right.
Then you get it and it freaking ruins you. You understand? Sisters out there wanting another man when you got a damn man.
Right.
And then you get that man, and that man is horrible.
Right.
Terrible. Raping your daughter, raping your son, beating your damn head in every damn weekend.
Right.
You understand? But you wanted him. You wanted that other man because he smiled at you when you went to the grocery store. He gave you conversation. You understand? You wanted him. And you had a man. And then you get it and you realize it wasn't for you.
Right.
You understand? Don't want nothing. Don't want nothing. Let's go back to Samuel. Slaki.
God.
Going back to 1 Samuel, we're going to go chapter 19. Matter of fact, we can drop that. Let's go to verse 20, chapter 22.
God.
Because King Saul wanted what David had, man. He wanted David's life so bad that he sought to kill this man. This man that did nothing but follow his orders, follow his lead. You understand? Was doing everything to the T, man. You understand? David gave his life to this man. He done stopped living with his father and followed after this man because he's the king and he respects him and he honored him and he did what he asked all the time, every time, and it got him so angry. He was so jealous and bitter behind how prosperous and how much David was moving up, how much everybody liked David that he wanted to kill him, man. You understand? He hated his brother. So guess what? He was a murderer. You understand? And David had to flee. David had to flee with the advice that Jonathan gave him. You understand? His brother, the king's son, who loved David. You understand? Who loved him more than his father. Who loved him more than he loved his father. Because he realized his father was not with the Lord, man.
Right.
His father was being an evil man. His father had that jealousy demon on him. You understand? We're going to go to 22 and we're going to start at verse 6.
God, 1 Samuel chapter 22, verse 6. When Saul heard that David was discovered.
And Saul heard that David was discovered because, again, we skipped a couple chapters, but David was going on the run, man. David was fleeing away from Saul, man. Fleeing away from Saul out of respect. You're going to see it just now. Let's keep reading.
And the men that were with him now saw abode in Gibeah under a tree in Ramah, having his spear in his hand, and all about him. Verse 7. Then Saul said unto his servants that stood about him, Hear now, ye Benjamites, will the son of Jesse give every one of you fields and vineyards? and make you all captains of thousands.
And Saul, being so damn evil, hunting David down, and he's looking at the men that's standing with him. You understand? He's turning on them. He's flipping out on them because that evil spirit, man, you understand? There's no telling where it will go. You understand?
Right.
When you got hate and jealousy for your brother, you'll kill your damn brother. You ain't to be trusted.
God.
You ain't to be trusted. You ain't loyal to nothing but yourself.
Right.
You understand? And the men that's with him, looking for David with him, he's questioning them. He's questioning them. Want to know what they got, if they in cahoots with David. Because his mind's playing tricks on him, man. They said the heart is deceitful above all things, man.
Right.
You understand? That's your mind. Your mind is deceitful. That's why the scriptures say, give your mind over to the Lord.
Right.
Trust in the Lord. Because if you believe yourself, you're going to be you're going down some dark ways.
Right.
You're going down some dark ways, man. Let's keep reading.
Verse 8. That all of you have conspired against me.
And he thinks everybody's against him. So all of you are against me. All of you conspiring against me with David because you love David more than you love me. And David sold this and David sold that. That's that jealousy demon, man.
Right.
You understand? Sound like a emotional woman. I'm about to say something else. You know, you sound like an emotional woman. You understand?
Right.
A scorned woman. Sound like a scorned woman. Let's keep reading.
And there is none that showeth me that my son hath made a league with the son of Jesse.
And he mad that nobody told him about how much Jonathan and David was cool.
Right.
You understand? He didn't know that because he was too busy hating David.
Huh.
He could have seen it, but he was so busy hating David that he didn't realize that his son loved him. Let's keep reading.
And there is none of you that is sorry for me, or showeth unto me that my son.
If I could, let's get that again from the end there.
God. And there is none of you that is sorry for me.
And that's the nasty, dirty spirit behind it. You understand? This man is out here. He's the king. He has power.
Right.
He has might. He has men that he controls, and he's over the whole damn nation. And he's out here chasing down somebody that's underneath him, a great servant of his.
Right.
You understand? A servant that's far too loyal and diligent to be a servant of his in the first place. You understand?
Right.
Shouldn't even be serving him, but he is because David respects the Lord.
God.
David respects order. You understand? So he is being obedient. He is being obedient to Saul. And Saul's little soft, moist self, he says, there's nobody that's sorry for me. You understand? Woe is me. Woe is me. You understand? Like a little damn girl.
Right.
You understand? Because jealousy is it's a weak thing, man. It's a weak emotion. It's a weak, terrible, nasty disease, man.
Right.
Said nobody's sorry for me. Sorry for you for what? That you're the king? Sorry for you because you're jealous of David? The man that you brought into your home?
Right.
The man that you made over your army? The man that you watched do all these, like, he did nothing but help you. He was a great help to you.
Right.
And you're jealous of him? And you want us to be sorry for you. Because this is how backwards his mind is. Because he's living in his head.
Right.
He's living in his head, and it's dangerous up there. Because you can't be your own counselor.
God.
You're never going to tell yourself you're bugging. You're going to believe whatever the hell pops up in your head.
Right.
And you're going to think, you're going to find a reason to rationalize and make what you think makes sense. He said, nobody's sorry for me. Let's keep reading.
God. Nor showeth unto me that my son hath stirred up my servant against me to lie in wait as at this day.
And he was crying and sitting there talking about, man, my servant that came against me. Mind you, David never did anything to go against King Saul, man. David never disrespected, never even did anything to cause harm to this man. You understand? Let's drop that. Let's go to 23 real fast. Bump shot.
God.
We're going to go 23. We're going to start at verse 6 again.
God. First Samuel chapter 23, verse 6. And it came to pass when Abiathar, the son of Abimelech, fled to David, that he came down with an ephod. Verse 7. And it was told that David was come to Keilah, and Saul said, have delivered him into mine hand, for he is entering into a town that have gates and bars.
And David, being on the run from King Saul, you understand, running from this man, he bouncing around town to town, city to city, right? And he came to this place called Keilah. And King Saul found out where David was at because he's the damn king. You understand? So people have to report to this man. And he said, finally, the Lord has put him in my hands, thinking that the Most High God is going to deliver his servant into your hand. When you are running around being evil and wicked, man, the Lord is not with Saul, man. The Lord is with David. That's why you can't catch him. That's why you can't find him.
Right.
You understand? Because the Lord is on his side. You, on the other hand, he just living in his damn head, thinking that the Lord is going to deliver you so you can do evil. The Lord ain't on your side if you're doing evil.
Right.
You understand? The Lord heareth not sinners. Let's keep reading.
Verse 8. And Saul called all the people together to war, to go down to Keilah, to besiege David and his men.
And Saul called all the people together, called all his soldiers to come down and go make war against David, man. David and his men. You see that? David and his men.
Right.
Because this men that was following David, man.
Right.
David was loved. You understand? This men that knew Saul was doing wrong and just being wicked. And they followed David. They followed the men that led them into war numerous times and brought them back home. You understand? It's a different type of love. That's a different type of brotherhood. You understand? As opposed to some evil man that's in control that shouldn't be in control.
Right.
Let's keep reading.
Verse 9. And David knew that Saul secretly practiced mischief against him.
And David knew. You understand? You can't hide that jealousy.
Right.
You can't hide that hate. The Lord is going to show it. The Lord is going to reveal it. You understand? So you can think you get away with it. You can think nobody notices it. You can think nobody knows. But the Lord will show it. You understand? The Lord will show and give signs of what's really going on. Because David knew that Saul practiced mischief against him. He knew he hated him. He knew he was jealous of him. You understand? David knew these things because it was shown to him. Let's keep reading.
And he said to Abiathar, the priest, bring hither the ephod.
All right, we can drop that. We're going to go to chapter 24 real fast.
God.
We're going to start at verse 1.
1 Samuel chapter 24, verse 1. And it came to pass, when Saul was returned from following the Philistines, that it was told him, saying, behold, David is in the wilderness of En-Gedi. Verse 2. The chosen man out of all Israel, and went his men upon the rocks of the wild goats. Verse 3. And it came to pass to the sheepcotes by the water was a cave, and Saul went to cover his feet, and David and his men remained in the sides of the cave.
Now Saul doing all this hunting to David, right? He's hunting David down. He done fell tired and went in this cave to get some rest. And David has the drop on him, right? David and his men, they got the drop on him. Let's see what happens.
Verse 4. And the men of David said unto him, behold, the day of which the Most High said unto thee, behold, I will deliver thine enemy into thy hand, that thou mayest do to him as it shall seem good unto thee. Then David arose of Saul's robe privately.
You understand? Servant said, like, listen, man, that cat in there right now. You understand? This must be from the Lord. They done delivered your enemy right into your hand, man. Like, you can do whatever you see fit with him, man. This is from the Lord. You understand? David went in there and didn't kill Saul. You understand? David went in there and cut a piece of his robe off.
Right.
You understand? Just to let him know, like, you slipping, boy. You understand? Because David was a smart, wise man, and he served the Most High God. So he didn't kill Saul. Let's keep reading.
Verse 5. And it came to pass afterward that David's heart smote him.
And David was sore. He was sad, man. You understand? David was stressed, and he felt bad that he did that to Saul, man. Because he respect order, man. He respect the Most High God. He respects Saul because the Lord anointed him to be the king. He didn't make himself king, you understand? So David had a certain respect for this man, you understand? Let's keep reading.
Because he had cut off Saul's skirt.
Because he cut off his skirt, it made his heart smote him. You understand? It made his head hurt. He was thinking about it and thinking about it, and he damn near caught a headache. He was stressed about it. What? I shouldn't have did that. He felt bad about it. Let's keep reading.
Verse 6. And he said unto his men, the Most High forbid that I should do this thing unto my master, the Most High's anointed.
You understand? And David said, listen, man, I shouldn't be doing this, man. The Lord doesn't want me to do this to him because he is anointed by the Lord. Right. Even though he's being evil and wicked and he hates David and he's jealous of him and he's hunting him down to kill him, David still kept his morals. You understand? David still kept them law, statutes, commandments. He said, listen, man, I can't be doing no harm to somebody that the Most High God anointed to be over us. Right. It's wrong and it's evil. I'm not going to stoop down to his level and do what he does. Let's keep reading.
To stretch forth mine hand against him, seeing he is the anointed of the Most High.
And David said, listen, man, I'm not going to stretch forth my hand against this brother, man. He's anointed of the Lord, man. You understand? The Lord put him there, you understand? And the Lord will take him away. I'm not going to be the one to do it. You understand? And David was sad, man. He went in there, he cried to Saul, he told Saul, listen, man, look what you got me doing. I got your robe right here. I could have killed you. And I didn't because I love you. Even though you hate me and you jealous of me and you want to see me dead, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. I don't understand it, but I do understand that I love you. I would never cause you harm. You understand? You understand? Because David was a real righteous, upright brother, man. Right. You understand? Let's drop that. We can drop that. We're going to get this last couple words. We're going to shut it down. Let's go to show you how much David loved and respect the Lord, man. We're going to go to 2 Samuel chapter 1.
God.
We're going to start at verse 1.
Second Samuel chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass after the death of Saul, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Amalekites, and in Ziklag. It came even to pass on the third day that, behold, a man come out of the camp from Saul with his clothes rent, his head. And so it was when he fell to the earth and did obedience.
You understand? This man came running out from Saul's camp. He ran up on David, you understand? And he got his clothes was rent. He got dirt all over him. He looked like he just escaped war. You understand? Right. He's coming to David, and he's crying. Fell to the ground and started crying to David. Right? And David asked him, "Yo, where you coming from? What's going on, man?" And he's telling him, "Yeah, man, we just came from the war, and it was bad. You understand? This and the third." And he ends up telling him that Saul and Jonathan died. You understand? And David wanted to know, how the hell do you know that they died? You understand? Right. And I seen it. You understand? I seen it. He seen it.
Right.
I seen it. Let's go to verse 13. Baba Kusha.
God, verse 13. And David said unto the young man that art thou? And he answered, I am the son of Amalekite. Verse 14. And David said unto him, how wast thou not afraid to stretch forth thy Most High's anointed?
You understand? He came and told David, like, yeah, man, I seen him, and he was so damn, he was in agony and pain. You understand? He asked me to put him out of his misery. You understand? So I killed him. Right. I killed him so that he don't have to suffer. You understand? He was suffering there. So I just finished the job off because he asked me to. You understand? This is what he told David. He might be telling the truth. You understand? But you know what David's response was? He said, who the hell do you think you are?
Right.
Some dirty, stinking heathen that you could kill the Lord's anointed.
Right.
Who the hell told you could kill Saul? You come telling me this is a good thing. Who told you could touch one of the Lord's chosen people? You understand? This is what David asked him.
Right.
Because David was a righteous man. You understand? Let's keep reading.
Verse 15. And David called one of the young men and said, go there and fall upon him. And he smote him.
David David told one of his young boys, he said, listen, man, he told him, fall on him. Fall on him means to go deal with the situation. You understand? Right. He ran over there. He killed that cat. He killed that cat that was brave enough and dumb enough to come in David's house and tell David about how he put Saul out of his misery because he was just in agony and he just wanted to go and he wanted to die. You understand? Because David loves the Most High God and the Lord anointed Saul to be the king. You understand? And he said, who the hell you think you are that you're going to put your hand on this man and kill him? Who the hell told you could do that? You understand? And that's how righteous David was, man. The whole time Saul hated and was jealous of this cat and wanted to destroy him, all David did was seek to serve him. You understand? Seek to be a great servant, a great help, a good brother. You understand? That jealousy is a weak demon, man. You understand? Anybody running around being jealous and being evil towards their brother, man, listen, that's dangerous. It's not needed and it's not wanted, man. Right. You read the story in Genesis chapter 4 about Cain and Abel, man. Listen, Cain was jealous of Abel. You understand? And caused him to kill his brother. Right. You understand? Nobody wants that weak underlying jealousy around, man. That's for little girls, man. Right. That's little girl games, man. That's little high school, junior high school girl games, man. You shouldn't be jealous of no damn man. You shouldn't be jealous of no sister either. I'm not gonna leave the sisters out, act like it's something for sisters to do it. Jealousy is weak. You understand? It's a weak emotion. It's against the Most High God, man. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16 gives you a list of the things the Lord hates. And guess what? Jealousy is up there, man. Right. You understand? Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous of your brothers. Don't be jealous of your sisters, man. Just get up and work harder. You understand? Do what the Lord requires you to do. And you can get what the Lord has for you. Right. You understand? What everybody has ain't for you. What you might see other people with might not be for you. But don't be jealous, man. You understand? Don't let that demon take over you, man. Take you to a terrible place, man. Take you to a terrible spot, man. And with that, pass the class over to Priest Officer 500, Officer Shaw, man.
Clap it up for the class.
Yes.
This is the I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. starting out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Room for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, a teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has a he or she must get permission from the head to sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will call each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head, which is the commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verses 20, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashra, 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. Teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priest, whatsoever amount you would like, upcoming holy convocations. Be sure to look on the bulletin board, in the back of your bulletin board for the upcoming high holy days, lectures, etc. Or go to ISUPK.com for. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headscarf. And with that, men of Israel, a Bible needs to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to get one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I.S.U.P.K. Amani, Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat Thumb.
Yahweh hands down, saw his sisters. Sister, sit down. Sister Amaya, which needs to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, I.S.U.P.K. Amani, Barak.
Yahweh Shema Thumb, Shem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yahweh, which means hands down, class dismissed.
Yeah, right.